So then I would like to introduce Education Specialist Robert Benitez of the Museum of Art and History. This is the Lancaster Museum, and they have a pretty interesting speakers program that he'll tell us specifically how many and what, but I was amazed at the diversity of topics as well as the diversity of people that are reflected by the presentations. Mr. Benitez.
Good evening, Madam Chairwoman and her fellow commissioners. My name is Robert Benitez, and I am the Education Specialist for the Museum of Art and History. And I've been that for just about the past year now. The program actually has over 10 subjects, which range from topics as diverse as dinosaurs and Ice Age mammals to Antelope Valley miners and pioneers and Native Americans. Last year, we served roughly 3,000 students around the Antelope Valley. In that past year, working with fellow staff members, we've come up with a new mission statement that I would like to share with you all. The mission of the Lancaster Museum of Art and History's educational program is to create an experience which fosters an appreciation of the past by exploring concepts presented in and beyond the school curriculum. Evolve with new information, becoming a living program, challenging the imaginations of students and lifelong learners. Offer intriguing discussions, dynamic activities, and relevant interpretations of artifacts in a fun and immersive approach to learning, and also to make accessible the Museum of Art and History's interactive programming, promoting artistic awareness and historical education by providing a greater sense of cultural consciousness. And it's that point that I wanted to really talk about a little bit further. When engaging students between the ages of 5 and 11, elementary school age, culture can sometimes be a difficult subject to have a discussion about. The subjects very quickly draw strange faces and words like weird or gross. When I talk about the mission system, for instance, we have a California mission system, California mission trunk program. I talk about how the Native Americans were not allowed to leave and that they would face severe punishment if they would not work to meet the Padres' demands. We talk about how even though the conditions were harsh, the most devastating effect of the mission system was the loss of a vibrant and thriving culture. I'm often asked why, and it's a difficult question to answer. But it's conversations like these, which happen early on, which work to help bridge the gaps between us. When we realize that we share a history, we are no longer strangers to one another. Discussions like this create empathy for one another and help us to understand an old view from a new perspective. That is what cultural consciousness is, and what I have the privilege to do at the museum.
Mr. Benitez, what program specifically does the Trunk Speakers program address?
We have, again, a diverse range of subjects. We have, again, starting with dinosaurs and Ice Age mammals. We have cowboys and vaqueros. We have pioneers and miners. There's lots of things, and specifically to the Antelope Valley that people can relate to when they're talking about the culture that we have here and where that comes from.
And how many students did you say that you've served?
Roughly 3,000 last year. Yeah.
Fabulous. What kind of response do you get from the students when they are asked to recognize that there are other cultures of equal value that exist now?
I think being so young, lots of them have not been exposed to different cultures. So when you tell them that Native Americans, we also have a Native American trunk. You see mesquite beans and juniper berries. You get a lot of gasps and why? And lots of them have never seen an acorn before. And you show them an acorn and they've never seen something like that before. So it's a really just a whole new experience for them, which is really interesting to watch unfold.
Does anyone else have any questions?
We also have the director of the museum if we have any questions about the museum here. So we'll take any questions.
You were talking about educational venues for children. How about young adults and adults? Is this all included?
Actually, it is all included. The educational trunk program is targeted for school-age children, but it's been used by everybody from like Merrill Gardens and adult living spaces, and going in there and doing presentations just like that. So our mission statement allows for not only students but lifelong learners also.
I just was hoping for a little clarity on a word that you're using, educational trunk program. What does the word trunk?
The trunk is actually it's a box that has wheels on it, and we take those to different classrooms. So it's literally a trunk that we
trunk,
have
okay.
that has artifacts in it. And then we
okay.
talk about the artifacts there that they use. So we'll take, for instance, baskets or blankets that Native Americans might have used, and not only show them how they make it, but how they use it. And we talk about hunter-gatherer societies and all the cultural things that surround these objects.
I want to come to your programs.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun.
I was going to say that.
I do. Thank you.
Well, perhaps we could have a Native American presentation for one of our open presentations, if the city could gear one to us. I'm around 9 at the end of my day.
I would love it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. All right, Commissioner Mohammed, would you like to introduce your program?
Thank you, Chair Dell. I want to introduce to you at this time, Pure Hearts Are Us. Pure Hearts Are Us empowers families with financial education and resources for achieving the American dream. Aaron Leonard, the CEO, and his staff has graced us coming all the way from Los Angeles, bless their hearts, and to give us some information and present us with some materials for you to read. And I was just so enlightened when I got to speak with them in reference to this program, because as you know, we're losing homes and we're losing businesses, and some people tend to make a business out of people losing their homes and losing their businesses. So, but this seems to be a program that will empower the community. I think it is something that is really, really needed. And I believe that they will come from Los Angeles here to set up workshops and do whatever it is that we need. And they have several banks working along with them. So I think you'll be very pleased. Mr. Leonard.
Thank you very much. Well spoken. And good evening, everyone. My name is Aaron Leonard. I'm the CEO of Pure Hearts Are Us. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we're glad to be here today to share our program with you. Pure Hearts Are Us, we are trained and certified by NeighborWorks of America. We've gotten our training from NeighborWorks of America in foreclosure mitigation and housing. So all my staff is certified and trained. And what we're doing today is helping homeowners stay in their homes from foreclosure. We've been very successful at it. We have a lot of bank partners, Bank of America, which you know is one of the largest mortgage lenders out there. We also brought our dear friend Ben Garcia from Chase Bank, one of our partners. So we're here to share our information with you, so hopefully we can bring this program to the city of Lancaster and help families stay in their homes. Pure Hearts Are Us, we are trained, we do workshops, free workshops in financial literacy, credit counseling, first-time home buyers. We sit down with the buyers to let them know how to buy a home. Just because you may qualify to buy a $400,000 home don't mean you should buy a $400,000 home, okay? So we really stress that. We also have affordable housing programs. We have a food bank that we are in collaborative with many churches that we feed over 1,000 people in the city of Los Angeles that can't feed themselves, can't put food on the table. So at this time, I like to read I'm so sorry, but at this time, I'd like to read our mission statement. I should have started off with that, our operational manager, Dave Steingeber, and then I'd like Ben Garcia from Chase Bank to speak.
The mission statement is, we're here to heal financial lives of families, and in so doing, strengthen our neighborhoods and communities by bringing a holistic and strategic approach to economic parity through financial literacy and practical empowerment. And essentially, what we're here to do is start where the bleeding is, put a Band-Aid on the bleeding, and then take the patient through a holistic process of never having falling never falling backward into that position again. And we have the certifications, the training, the skills to take someone into a whole healing process financially.
Good evening. Thank you for giving the opportunity for Chase and for Pure Hearts to come out, speak to you, and let you know what it is that we're doing to help the community in LA and actually throughout the state of California, and for Chase, actually throughout the whole country. At Chase, I'm with the Home Ownership Center. We focus on home preservation. So we want to keep our homeowners that are in their homes, in their homes. By doing that, we focus on working with modifications, short sales, deed and liens, but mainly trying to get people to modify their homes and keep them in their homes. By doing that, some of our outreach, we work with nonprofits such as Aaron and Pure Hearts. We work with we work with our bank branches to try and get all the people who are looking for assistance to come on in and sit down with us and really go over the information to keep their home. Aaron and Pure Hearts have done a great job going out there and marketing themselves and really trying to help the community. So Chase has backed them 100%, and we're willing to work with the city of Lancaster and try and keep the homeowners in their homes.
So at this time, we'll take questions if you have any.
How do you screen your applicants? How do you select who is needy enough to need a program that sounds like I should have had you 5 years ago?
We take everyone. If there's a solution, there's always a solution for a homeowner. Unfortunately, in this business, everyone can't keep their home. Once we do a budget, financial analysis on them, we find out the money may not be there for them to afford their home. But we have a great, the banks have a great program where they do give them cash for keys today. So which is good, and they can take that money and go rent a property, but then they can come back to our organization, get counseling, where we can help them buy again in 2 or 3 years. So we can teach them the right, proper way how to buy.
What does that mean, cash for keys? I mean, literally cash for keys?
Yes, it's a deed and lieu program.
It's through our short sales or deed and lieu program. If the homeowner, if we go through their financials and we figure out there's nothing we can do, your financials just aren't enough for you to keep this home and maintain a mortgage payment, even if the interest rate is lowered and we go through the whole modification process. What we do is we assist them with cash for keys or relocation funds to assist them to move out. So as long as and the main focus of that program is, when the whole foreclosure crisis started, a lot of people were damaging the homes, because they were upset. So this is a way for both parties to come to, some kind of, how would I say? There you go. Yeah, so then that way they leave the home and they leave it in good condition, and then we help them move on.
So would that be like first, last, and renting the U-Haul?
No, it's usually a set amount. It can range anywhere from $2,500 all the way to $35,000. So.
I would like to thank you all for coming tonight. I'm very impressed with what you have to say, and I'm very impressed that you were able to all come together and present. That shows me the amount of support that you have, and I think you'll fit well into the community. Nothing makes more sense to me than keeping homeowners in their home. I had my next-door neighbor of 10 years. He moved out in a cash for keys situation that the bank offered him, and at least he got $4,000 to get on with his life, and we were able to get another neighbor into that home very quickly because we watch our neighborhood. So that's something that you're going to find up in here in Lancaster. We look out for our own, we take care of our own, and we welcome your input, and you're sorely needed. So thank you for this presentation. It's very impressive.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you need to be behind in your payments to get involved in your program, or can it just be you see what's coming down the road and before you get in problems?
This is, we'll counsel those people, but in order to get a modification, you do have to be at least 2 months behind. But once those people are in that situation, maybe there's a way we can assist them before they fall into that situation. That's a good thing about our program. We will do a free, what's that?
With Chase, you don't have to be behind.
Oh.
We want to help everybody, okay?
And from the holistic point of view, we want to see someone before a crisis if we can, because we're going to set a plan out to the future. So if somebody is starting to see the writing on the wall, that's a great time to start working with us.
Yeah, because I think most of the programs you have, like you said, have to be behind in payments, and then you're,
At least 2 months.
Yeah.
But just, but Chase,
I did not know that.
Yeah.
There are government
Different.
programs that have some guidelines, but the banks are starting to step in with their own guidelines.
That's very good.
Yay, bless you
Yeah.
people.
Thank you.
And I
Wow.
want to say for the people that do make their payments on time, they should be awarded. Because we also do debt counseling and credit counseling, and credit is one of the most important things to have. And if you don't have to fall behind, and we could help you without falling behind, that is one of our missions.
Absolutely.
yes.
I think that's fabulous. I think that it saves so many problems down the road if you can get to them before you're behind and before you have the credit problems, and I think that's fabulous.
Yeah, the phrase, people sometimes don't know what they don't know, we're really trying to get in front of that and get the information before it gets to be too hard to handle.
So that comes with my statement that I was saying today, earlier, that when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. If I might ask, the free comprehensive financial life planning, is that something that can be used? Again, if you see the writing on the wall, is that something that you could get yourself involved in?
That's actually something we encourage everybody. We encourage, that gives a game plan for anyone. You might think that you've got it all set and you're all together, and that would give you some maybe new knowledge that you, again, possibly didn't know, that could avoid some pitfalls. So we're happy to talk to people who are in any situation with that, and that is a free analysis of your situation to lay it all out so that you can see whether you're okay or not so okay or
Wow.
whatever.
Okay. Very good.
I can't tell you how excited I am to share space with people such as you. I mean that. I just think this is awesome on every level. I do have a question. Sure. Do you look over loan modifications before your clients sign them? Because I have found some of these loan modifications to be as bogus or as disturbing as some of the original loans. And the people are not aware of what they're signing. They're excited that their payments are lowered, only to find that they have a 24-year balloon payment of $127,000 when their house is worth $84,000. It's disturbing, and Chase is not one of them that I've seen. So you can smile about that. However, it's happening, and it disturbs me that we're going to be going down that same road 20 years from now when people have signed bogus modification. And so I'm just wondering, do you have something in place that you can alert your clients to that?
Basically, that's a great question. A lot of our partners today, they attend a lot of our national conferences on those type of concern questions. Mm-hmm. And a lot of banks today, what they're doing today, they're doing a principal reduction on the market analysis and comparables in the neighborhood. I know Chase is good for it. Bank of America is starting. Wells is doing it. So those are the things that we put in as certified counselors. We ask for it. Is it guaranteed? No. But at least we try to put that big payment at the back of the end, 30 years for mortgage, because this is where we came in with the financial planning. We have strategies of how to offset that debt. So this is one way how we can deal with that.
Okay, thank you.
If I could
Yeah.
just add, because that is a great question. That's what we think our value is to make sure that those unknowns are exposed and totally transparent.
Thank
So we
you.
don't let someone go into something without their eyes open.
Right.
And, as Aaron said, we'll develop a strategy to take care of if the balloon payment is inevitable, then we're going to develop a strategy to get that. When it's necessary, we're going to build a budget to have that taking place 20 years down the road.
Okay.
I think a great step that Pure Hearts has taken is by reaching out to the lenders. Because like you were asking, do you review these modifications with them? They do review the modifications with them, and then they can also call upon us, and we can either go out to them or over the phone, we can actually, dissect the whole modification and make sure that it's actually something that they want and they can afford, because we don't want to put them into something where 6 months down the road or even 5 years down the road, we're right back where we started.
Right.
We want
Yeah.
to make sure for the next 30, 40 years that you're going to stay in that home.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for addressing that. You guys rock.
Just one final question, if we could now. All these services, free, cost? Talk to me about that.
Yes, the workshops are free. All our services are pretty much free, but we do ask for a $500 tax deductible donation because of the funding. It's short out there, and we need overhead costs to fulfill our goals. And most of the families that we see, they have no problem with that. And the ones that don't have it, we'll work with them. We still want them to save their homes. So we are here to do the best we can for the city of Lancaster. So
That's right.
We are also going to do a full financial planning process for free, and that may expose funds that are going to be able to supplement what does need to come through or hopefully can come through.
I have a question. Most of us know the GAP people who are making payments on their house. They're not sinking, but they have no equity. They're below the line. They have no hope that anyone will ever change this. But recently I heard that there's a new program that if you just want to modify your interest payment, that's going to happen. Do you know anything about that? Should people contact Pure Hearts or us about that?
Yeah, they can go ahead and contact Pure Hearts, and Aaron can help them out. From Chase's point of view, we are working on something like that right now. We do have other programs that can assist borrowers that are looking who aren't behind their payments, who aren't struggling, but are looking because they're underwater. We do have programs.
I think you're talking that the Obama administration is trying to push something through that takes care of that gap of those who aren't in arrears yet but are under stress. And that's still up in the air as to whether that's going to get through.
Okay. All right.
So that's why the banks are taking it upon themselves to get ahead of it.
Smart. This organization is Pure Hearts R, as in Toys R Us,
Right.
with a website of www.pureheartsrus.org. Is that site ready yet? I know it was under construction.
yes, it's still under construction because we're putting some really dynamic things that we've done in the past on there, and it's just a lot to load, but it should be up, I'd say, what, 1, 2, 3 weeks?
We've had to go through a few personnel changes trying to get the website up. There's some dynamic aspects where we're trying to make it interactive, and I don't have we have our homepage up,
Yeah.
so you can kind of get a flavor.
I tell you, we'll have it up as soon as possible. Okay.
And for those who are listening, having heard the taping of this meeting, the phone number for Pure Hearts R Us is 909-728-4080, 728-4080, or 323-761-6477, or email Aaron Leonard at lawphrus@gmail.com.
Yes, correct.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Great.
Thank you.
At this
But
point.
I'm so sorry. We brought some flyers. We thought people would be here for our next coming event. Is it possible just leave in if anyone's, they're more than welcome to attend? Okay.
At this point, I'd like to acknowledge a journalist from the Antelope Valley Times, Krista, who's here with us. Thank you. And also our city manager, Mark Bozigian, who's come in. Thank you. Okay. Let's zip, oh, gentlemen, I'm so sorry. I left out a question. Do you have any requests that you wanted to make or wish lists about how Pure Hearts R Us might partner with the city? Anything that you wish you had, like access to a library from 7 to 8 to meet with people, or anything creative like that?
Yes, thank you so much. Any way that we're open to everything that can make this work. We are willing to open an office here and create jobs here through counseling agencies. So whatever we need to do, we're open to do it. And as a partner with the city of Lancaster, we're open.
And if we could, we would actually need a place to hold our workshops and do our counseling as well.
Thank you.
And we're willing to employ locally.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.